Issa Rae is definitely a controversial figure. A person who I think will not shut her mouth no matter what the situation is. She always has something to say. Typically, it's not funny or interesting. So because she's neither one of those, it's usually controversial. Issa Rae made headlines last week talking about the Oscars and their situation. Many times black people always do this. Jada Pinkett, they're always crying about the Oscars. This is what Negroes tend to do. But Issa Rae does it in her own way. Nobody won the Best Director award this year. That was a female. None actually made the list. And there's a lack of diversity. And Issa Rae is upset with it. Okay? She said, congratulations to those men. But, we don't have enough women in there. And it's not fair. And why are guys winning all of the awards for Best Director? I'm gonna tread lightly on this, and I'm gonna say that Issa Rae, who writes Insecure for HBO, I've seen it. It's pretty interesting. Issa Rae, if there were women that were winning it, they would be white, okay? Because the Oscars caters towards the mainstream audience. The country's more white. And while you're making that argument, if it was a white woman that won it, then the next thing you would say is, why are no black women winning Best Director? Let me tell you why you'll never win it. Okay? Because I know what this is really about. This is about why are black women not winning Best Directors? And there are some great black women directors. I don't know any I can name, but I'm pretty sure they are, right? I mean, I'm not really into the entertainment movie thing. So I'm pretty sure you guys can come in and say, this is a great black woman female director. Issa, you write Insecure. It is a hood, ratchet, toddy, ghetto dramatization that only black people can realize what it is. You will never be nominated for an Oscars. Never. And all of this crying that I see African Americans, and Issa Rae is not an African American. She is like somebody from Senegal, and then she has merged into the African American way of thought and talking and things like this. So she kind of clones herself into African American culture. I got a solution for your issues, Issa Rae. Since, no women were nominated for the Oscars, we know that you'll never win one because of, lack of talent and lack of appeal to the mainstream audience. Here's what you do, Issa Rae. Start your own Academy Awards. I mean, this is very simple. So that people who don't appeal to other groups outside of the Negro group, because that's the truth, you don't, would be able to win something. And I mean, this validation from the greater society is what is holding black people back. Let me just talk about the brothers and sisters out there in Nigeria. And we have some issues with some Nigerians in America, between African Americans and Nigerians, but we cannot deny that they are about starting their own stuff. Ever heard of Nollywood, Issa Rae? This is something that even African Americans could participate in, especially somebody like Issa Rae who's African that don't. You could do stuff in Nollywood. Nollywood is $1 billion industry. But African Americans who are crying all the time could go out into Africa, take their expertise, take their level of stuff, compete in a diaspora market, get recognized for what you do, possibly get more money, but you won't do it because you want to cry about what the lack of opportunity that you have. Women are not getting the rights they deserve. And then, I think when it comes to the Oscars, which is very, very liberal leaning, I mean, the Oscars is very sensitive to gays. The Oscars is very sensitive to women. and rights like that. I mean, the Oscars have done so much to try to cut down this disparity. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people that are complaining are not good. People who are not good don't win. All right? That's just really what it is. If you produce films and things that have numbers, if you're good, you're probably going to win. The Oscars have worked really hard to accommodate crybabies. They're accommodating crybabies all the time, like Issa Rae. They're very sensitive to any kind of anti-hate speech. They're very sensitive to gays. They're sensitive to that community. They're sensitive to women. Okay? And they're also sensitive to people who can't win. What else can the Oscars do to help you win? Because Issa Rae would have a problem if the woman was white. She pulled the black woman card. Well, wait a minute. We don't have enough black women winning the Oscars. Listen, you're just not good enough right now. People should not just give you an Oscar because you're a man or because you're a woman. Because there's a thought process that you need to be at this standard to win. And if you're at this standard, you win. If you don't, you suck. Sorry. Well, why doesn't it? I mean, are we just handing out stuff? We need to have one female winner of the Oscars. We need to have one male winner. Look, we can even talk about now on sports shows. You want to talk about it? Every sports show has to have a female up there now. ESPN, Fox Sports. I know this is different from the Oscars, but let's just talk about what we have in equality right now on TV. Nobody wants to watch a lot of these women in male sports shows. I mean, number one, because they're usually attractive, and they might know a little something here, but the show can't be as aggressive as it could be because the woman's in the room. Oh my God, we need to tone it down. And if we say something, there's a sexual harassment coming down the pipe. But women are still allowed to have their own talk shows, The Real. There's no man on that show. Women are invading male spaces all the time. And women get to keep their own stuff. You guys got Black Girls Rock. You have the Essence Festival. You have the Ebony Festival. Make your own damn award show and stop crying. Make a Black Women Academy Awards show or Women Awards show and stop crying. That way you don't need the Oscars. And I can tell you what, if you do it, you'll make news. But so many times in Black America, people don't want to do that. Want to cry about why we don't have things. You can go to Nollywood, Issa. They know you. You can build a studio there. You can make tons of money there. But see, it's all about I want to have an Oscar. So you got options. You can be good, which you're not good enough. Or none of the other ones this year were. 2, you can go to Nollywood. Or 3, start your own show. But all of your complaining and whining, it falls on deaf ears. Especially when you're not good enough. And that's all I got to say. Guys, subscribe, hit the bell. Like the video. It's your boy O'Shea. All my contact information is the first comment pinned to the top. Patreon. By the way, thank you for all the brothers supporting the Negro Manosphere store by buying the Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts. We've sold a bunch of them. I want to thank you guys for all the support. I really, 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 really thank you, brothers. As you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high, and we're out.